Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the installment of Scott Selections here for Thursday, January 21st. Before we get into today's play of the day, a quick recap of what happened yesterday. Unfortunately, we took it on the chin yesterday. Really not a fun time. UFC did not work out, and then the play of the day in college basketball, we ended up giving out SF Austin minus 13.5. It ended up closing at 17. So we beat a massive line move there. And Stephen F. Austin shot 60% from the floor. Won by 12. They were up 19 points with about 2 minutes and 14 seconds left, and they won by 12. To make matters worse, I don't know how bad the beat even was because ESPN's play-by-play of the game has the wrong score. So really not a fun time. According to ESPN, it says they won by 15. They did not. They won by 12, so I'm not really sure what happened there. But ended up picking up a loss. Been pretty frustrating the last couple of days in college basketball when you beat line moves repeatedly and the line moves just simply don't pan out. But happens. We're running really hot in college basketball. So it's been a little bit of a cool down period, but nothing extreme. And hopefully it'll bounce back here on Thursday. Before today's play, we're going to be looking at the NBA, actually. We're going to be doing a player prop. There are only 3 games on today's card in the NBA, but I do think there's value on one particular player. It's going to be on the late matchup between the Utah Jazz and the New Orleans Pelicans. And for this matchup here, we like Zion Williamson over 22.5 points at minus 112 on FanDuel. The time recording of 10:59 a.m. Eastern Time. Couple reasons why I like the over in Zion here. First of all, Zion's been great lately. If you look at his recent performances, he has had at least 21 points in each of the last 7 games he's played. And if you look at his results lately, he's had at least 24 points in 5 of his last 6 games. So it seems like New Orleans, even though the team might not be the greatest, has started to unleash Zion to some degree, where instead of limiting his minutes like they did earlier in his career, playing him 28 minutes, whatever, he's been playing closer to around 34, 35 or so in most of these games. And some of these games haven't even been close. You have games against the Lakers, for example, where he's playing 34 minutes and they lost by 17. You have a couple of games here where New Orleans, despite losing, is just still giving him a ton of minutes. And I do think that Zion should be able to take advantage of this Utah defense, which has been a little bit underwhelming so far this season. Now, looking at the recent matchups, it is worth mentioning that this will be an immediate rematch as the Jazz ended up beating the Pelicans by 16 in the last game. However, despite losing by 16, the Pelicans still played Zion 35 minutes, and he still scored 32 points. Now, I know that you might be wondering, well, I'm sure the defense might be making some adjustments and everything like that, but the issue that you have is that based on the current matchups, you have who guarding Zion? Royce O'Neal. It's a mismatch. There's really not much you can do about it. And I know you might say, well, Gobert's in the paint, true, but if you get people involved in pick and roll and Gobert's a little bit slow to react, you could get some switches, and Zion should be able to just bully whoever's on him. There's a reason why Zion against Utah and its solid defense still ended up going 14 of 19 from the floor. I just think Utah has no answers. I know you might expect a little bit of a drop-off from Zion. Maybe he won't go for 32 again, but 22.5 does sound very low for a guy who has gone over this total in 5 of his last 6 and just dropped 32 on this team. I think Zion will probably go for around 25, maybe a little bit more. But based on the current number, 22.5, I've already seen a bit of movement on it. I know on Fox Bet it's at 23.5. I know FanDuel originally had it around minus 10. I want to say minus 108 at some point a couple hours ago. Now it's up to minus 112. I think it'll probably close around 23.5 points. I don't think it'll stay at 22.5. But based on how Utah has been guarding Zion in the last matchup, I just think that Zion's a major matchup problem. And it seems like New Orleans is going out of their way to actually just give him the ball a lot. So for that reason, I think based on volume and the mismatch with the defense involving Utah, I just think that Zion 22.5 is definitely too low, and I think you should go over. So once again, the play of the day here for Thursday, January 21st, is going to be on Zion Williamson over 22.5 points at minus 112 on FanDuel. That's been Installment Scott Selection. Good luck to all of you and your respective bets today. Bye, everyone.